Hi, my name's Sean Bremond. I'm Chairman and CEO of Crowdpoint Technologies. On behalf of the entire team at Crowdpoint, I'm real excited to talk to you about how we're responding to how the world is evolving. And because the world is evolving, the web has evolved again, and so is the cloud. So today we're going to talk about our Vogon decentralized cloud, which is purpose-built for authentic intelligence. A little quick kind of summary of what we're going to talk about today. Just a quick presentation of these 14 items, and we'll get through them pretty quickly. So our North Star, if you're looking at this, has always been you. It's always been the human identity. We wanted to ensure that not only is your data secured and valued, but you get paid for being you. Most people today don't realize that they are data quintillionaires. They're data tycoons. So the point in which the crowd realized this is the tipping point, or the crowd point. A little bit of our team. This is an incredible team. We've been either friends for 10 years or we've come from organizations that we worked together in the past and just followed and decided, let's do this rodeo one more time. With multiple decades in experience in technology, finance, and corporate leadership, we have incredible expertise in artificial intelligence and machine learning, as well as cybersecurity, big data, distributed architectures, and finance. Our core development team has actually worked, as I said, together for about 10 years. And so we wanted to focus very simply this time around with, we want to generate revenue in a very simple, repeatable manner. And that is, we get paid for providing in a pay-as-you-go model, but it's actually built on a financial alpha, which we'll talk about more later. Vogon solves so many big problems. We solve the hallucination problems. We solve a lot of the issues associated with long-term memory, and we solve problems with governance and lineage. But most importantly, the financial alpha, which is we are able to make sure that we have a mechanism by which our technology is paid for in a very simple manner, but it's accretive and deterministic in nature. And we'll talk about that even more face to face. We offer efficiency, flexibility, and lower costs. The value of a decentralized cloud, following this approach of deterministic concurrency, which we'll dive in later, just really creates for a more authentic data warehouse that really drives the future of authentic intelligence. That platform, that cloud platform, really drives deep insights and ethical considerations when you consider things like making sure we don't do any harm to humans. So including things like the 3 laws of robotics in our deterministic process, and then really kind of positioned to help companies across the supply chain get involved in really much more efficient kinds of global collaboration. So we're purpose-built. We believe we're the backbone for authentic intelligence, and our Vogon cloud is essentially a decentralized ledger database that enables long-term memory and unlocks collective intelligence by providing governance and lineage through individual authentic intelligence. The big idea was, how do we get you paid for being you? After all, data is the new oil. The human identity is the oil field that provides the authentic raw material that really powers our global economy. Refined oil, as you know, is fuel. So data plus refinement, or data plus value, is information. So analytics out there, refined data to information, transferring information to the right person. And we know that powers the next evolution of the global economy. So what you'll see is how we facilitate this process. And then after you combine your authenticness with others, it becomes a new kind of collective intelligence. And certainly we're not the only ones that have thought of this. We've just made it actionable. Certainly MIT has thrown this concept out for a few years. Authentic intelligence, we believe, surpasses artificial intelligence because it provides more nuanced understanding, and more importantly, the human factor associated with it. Collective intelligence and its decentralization is how you combine the authentic intelligence, but you have the governance, lineage, and pedigree of where the data was sourced, and that makes sure that every person is the custodial agent of their data, and they get reimbursed for using it. This is a really visionary approach, but I think you'll see we effectively demonstrate how we can leverage that sweet spot, the intersection between commercial and capital markets, to really make this happen in a significant way. And I think one of the coolest things that we've done is we've taken our security, our utility, which is an SEC-backed stock, and we've collateralized it by silver. And that really helps us create and support the upward pressure from the transactional volume from paying for our cloud. I talked a little bit about long-term memory, but essentially collective intelligence and the way we store the data, the way it's shared, it really is a much more efficient. As we move away from large language models to ontological language models, they're just going to be a little bit more efficient. And the reason why they're ontological is because each person posts their own data first in their own private cloud, which we'll talk about in a minute. And then when it gets shared, it becomes collective. And then we use the deterministic process to make sure it belongs in the overall data corpora. So let's take a look at our cloud from a real simple perspective. So at the end of the day, we call it Vogon, has its roots in the movie From Hitchhiker's Guides to the Galaxy. It's built on these really hyper-efficient virtual machines, which solves a lot of anti-correlation problems. But more importantly, they're polyglots. They allow us to talk from Python to Java to multiple C#, multiple languages, which means you access this decentralized ledger and database through a microservice very, very efficiently. That basically creates a private JSON warehouse for the individual, and that solves some of the long-term memory problems that we've seen in the past. But then it's connected into what we call deep thought, and that's our own special kind of response AI that allows people to run their own authentic intelligence, and then when they decide to send it through a central counterparty clearinghouse, they're able to turn that into collective intelligence on the cloud. And that means even connecting in to enterprise class relational database systems. So you can actually take data out of a relational database, have a conversation with it, keep it private, or publish it. And when you publish it, it becomes part of the greater good for the response AI. There's additional benefits of this technology, and that is it really redefines the intersection between commercial and capital markets. What I want to show you right here is that kind of presentation.
Hello, my name is Sean Bremond. I'm Chairman and CEO of Crowdpoint Technologies. On behalf of Nidab Akhtar and the rest of our team, I'm so excited to give you a quick summary about the power of what we've done with Vogon. What does Crowdpoint do? Well, according to our authentic intelligence, we provide a digital platform that consists of 4 product modules: identity, market, capital, and finance. Each one of those modules were designed to operate on a common decentralized ledger and database. That decentralized ledger and database enables us to take content and give us the ability to align that with every single one of the sectors that are out in the markets today. So we have the ability to organize all our data by industry sectors. Whenever somebody takes data out of their private repository and puts it into the public cloud, they organize it and is placed within each one of these 12 sectors. Essentially, data is the new oil. And so what we're doing is we're defining what kind of grade of oil it is so that we can create a financial value to the data. Every piece of data that comes onto our Vogon environment is immutable and it's transparent. In fact, let's go ahead and click on a link and check it out now. So as you can see, we come in here into the system sections, and this is where we're tracking all real-time transactions on our decentralized cloud by IP address, so that you can literally drill down to every IP address on the planet. Let's go take a look at our actual data layer. Let's look at Vogon. So as you can see here, Vogon is essentially a custodial technology because not only does it have the data in the form of a JSON, but it also has an address. This makes both the JSON record and the actual hash immutable. Everything that we place on our decentralized cloud is part of a decentralized ledger and a decentralized database. That's what Vogon is. It allows us to then run analytics in real time on all the transactions that are happening within our ecosystem. So if I want to look at all the transactions you just saw, I can immediately group them and immediately go down to each and every one of them. What this also means is that we have a new way to manage our dashboard, get trained, communicate with each other, as well as get into interesting things like trading liquidity. We now have the ability to track real-time investments from your current watch list, your orders, your past orders. For example, if you want to potentially invest in a company, you can come down to, recommended companies, go check out that recommended company, go directly to their trading materials, and then look at their information on the actual Vogon decentralized cloud. This is all nothing more than assembly of JSONs. Here, let's go back up to the top and talk to the authentic intelligence in real time. So here we are back in here, and let's go ahead and ask it a question about ABC Corporation. Tell me about ABC Corporation. So all the same content that you saw that were displayed for helping companies invest into a company like ABC Corporation, it allows us to identify in a collaborative and conversational manner. But what makes it authentic is there's a couple things. Number one, we don't suffer from long-term memory loss. Everything is stored as a JSON, as I said, on our decentralized cloud. Number two, we only use ontological language models, which means there's no hallucinating on our Vogon cloud. And number three, the most important thing is your data is your data. And when you contribute it, there's a clear chain of custody through central counterparty clearinghouses by industry sector so that you can get reimbursed for your data. All of this has been placed into a single vertical assembly or can be used any way you want. And how do we at Crowdpoint make money? Well, we have an instrument called crowd units. Those crowd units are SEC certified and registered security token that are backed and collateralized by silver. When you store data, you pay in crowd units. When you purchase and subscribe more storage costs and or AI models, you pay with crowd units. All of this is combined in one environment. You can pay for your AI queries and rent your language model, and do your storage in one single location. Thanks so much for spending these few moments with us.
So as you can see, very simple concept, but it enables such a complex intersection between commercial and capital markets, from e-commerce to investments to being able to have conversations with your data for the first time and contributing your data and knowing that you're going to be compensated. And how easy is it? Well, I want you to watch this video of literally how quickly any developer is able to interact and communicate with a decentralized cloud because of the very nature of how we built this on kind of these containers, containerization, much like you'd see with Docker or Kubernetes, but exceptionally more efficient.
He's talking about Chat GPT these days, and it's a really great tool. People actually ask me if it's going to replace programmers, and it won't, but it is a really great starting point. So we decided to use it as a starting point for this, and we're going just to create a quick data model that we can send to Vogon and just show how easy it is. What data model do you want? We can have something useful, like a business case, or we could have something just as an example.
I got an idea. Maybe a restaurant menu.
Okay, restaurant menu. So give me a JSON schema for a restaurant menu.
Now remember,
all right, so ChatGPT is spitting this out, and you can see it just has stuff like the restaurant name, an array of menu items. Each menu has an item name, a description, a price, a category. All right, that looks good.
completely non-scripted. This
and
is
then
non-scripted.
I'm going to say, so now I'm saying, how do I create a React form with a JSON schema? I develop with React. It's a HTML development framework. It says, okay, we're going to use a library called React JSON Schema Form. I have a brand new project. I'm going to install that. So I'm just taking the little pieces of code. It's giving me directions. It says do this, then this, and I'm just copying and pasting it. Okay, and now what I have is, I have this, I'm going to rename this to be restaurant form. So I got that working, I submitted it, and it showed me the result. And the result is all of the metadata for a Vogon block in the distributed ledger. And this dynamic data piece shows that this was my payload, right? What we expect, my name, email, phone number, and reservation information. And then this address is the Vogon address that it gives me so that I can access this data whenever I want. And I just tested that out where I did vogon.crowd.world and I put in the address and it gives me back exactly what we saw there.
Okay. Hey everyone, I'm Ricardo from Texas. I'm a few years into development. My focus is mainly making things look good, making things look easy to use. And Josh was like, hey, get this, try it out, see how it goes for you. So I'm not the strongest with APIs. I wish I was. But even with my skill set, like as a junior developer, I was able to get this up and running in like 10 minutes, a little bit longer than Joshua, just because of I had a.
So I'm going to pause that. So essentially, you can watch this video on your own time. But again, a brand new developer is able to publish on a decentralized ledger database in 10 minutes. That means he has his own database that's now been decentralized around the world, and he's able to run an application off that. So that's what I wanted to show you today, is that we're really changing the economics of centralized clouds versus a blockchain and what we've done, which is a Vogon decentralized cloud. Far more compelling. And I think certainly there's a lot of opportunity when you look at the total addressable market for the cloud and just within the sub-segment of cloud capabilities tied on top with the new emerging response AI technology. So I hope you had a chance to really understand the opportunity you see. Quick summary on we've demonstrated our technology provides people increased accessibility to authentic intelligence, enhanced security, much more efficient, reduced cost, much more private, extremely scalable, extremely resilient. As you saw, very quick interoperability, and then definitely you saw a guy who's brand new and was able to access it for reduced barriers to entry. So I think you're going to enjoy learning more about us, and we hope you join us in this journey to become the backbone of the web for the internet that everyone deserves. Thank you very much. My name is Sean Bremond. I appreciate it.